Hey, highly favored woman. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Life Coach Naomi, and I am so excited that you are here joining me today. We are meant to have a vloggy vlog, but I could not vlog. It was a busy week last week and I just could not vlog at all, and earlier this week as well. So instead I thought I would come here and do like a chit chat video, and hopefully that will be okay. Please forgive me for not being able to vlog. I do love to vlog, guys, but have not had the time this week. Are now sitting on 62 subscribers. I cannot believe we are sitting on 62 subscribers. It feels like a dream. I know that, it's small considering the big grand scheme, but it's 62 people who have chosen to subscribe to my channel, who believe that the content I share is worthy of them listening. And so for that, I am absolutely grateful. If you are a new subscriber here and you like what you hear, you like what you see, please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the subscribe button, share and comment as well. I am trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of this year, and so your subscribing would literally mean a lot to me. So let's get to it. I am just gonna have a sip of water because I am so thirsty. It has been one of those days, honestly, where I have just been running around like a headless chicken. But I will not bore you with that. I will leave it for the vlog, which will be out next week. So I wanted to come here very quickly today and just talk about unanswered prayers. This is a topic that has been on my mind for a very long time, and I thought it would be best to come and talk about it right here, about how to navigate when you have unanswered prayers. Now, I'm going to try not get emotional, don't worry, but I can say for sure I have had moments where I have had unanswered prayers. I have had years where I have had unanswered prayers, and it left me thinking like, God, are we going to do this? Like, I thought I had prayed for this. I thought you said yes, but dololo, what happened, right? And I want to talk about it because we are coming to the end of the year. And this is a moment of reflection for a lot of people. For me personally, as somebody who loves vision boards, who loves to think forward, who is an introvert, I love to reflect a lot about what's been going on for me, what the year has been like, and just understanding, okay, what could I have done differently, or where has God been taking me this year? What has God been saying to me? What have I been doing? How have I been showing up? And so I wanted to come here because I know that a lot of you that obviously follow my channel, you are into faith, you are into vision boards, you are into, living a life of purpose, living a life where not only are you just doing the things that God has called you to do, but you are doing them on purpose. They are edifying you as well as edifying the people that God has called you to. And so you are probably in a moment of reflection right now. You are probably in a moment where you're thinking, do you know what? I actually need to sit down and take stock of life, right? Take stock of life, because if you do not take stock of life, you are just going to think like, you're doing great or you're not doing anything. And yet God is like, girl, we've been ticking off boxes all along. Where have you been? Or God will be like, yeah, no, I didn't feel like I wanted to, I didn't believe that box you wanted really badly to be ticked was the right one to be ticked for you at this moment in time, because I've got a bigger and better box for you. And so this video is really about talking about unanswered prayers, talking about how to deal with an unanswered prayer, talking about how to find hope and faith when you've had an unanswered prayer, and how to keep on still believing for that prayer to still be answered, maybe it might not be answered in the way that you wanted it to be, but it will still be answered. So this video is a video of hope. If you are in a season right now where you're like, you know what, Noni, thank you so much for this video, because I feel like I need this revival in me of hope again, because I've had so many unanswered prayers. Then sis, take a sit, grab some water, and let's talk, right? Let's talk. I am going to share a story of when I had an unanswered prayer. Listen, God has given me so many unanswered prayers in my life. I'm a vision board queen. I dream big. I want things amazing, but God sometimes does not answer my prayers, and I've had to learn how to deal with that in a very constructive way for me, and allow myself to just be, right? To just be. So one example that I would give of having an unanswered prayer that was recent, number one, and two, that really hurt to the core, right? Like it really hurt me. I literally went under the blanket and I slept for a while, because I'm like, you God, how? Why, Lord? Why? Hey, Jesus, why? Right? So late last year, 2023, hubby and I decided that we wanted to get a bigger house, and we needed, bigger space. We've got two kids now, and we had a 3-bedroomed house, but we're both working from home, so we're like, you know what, we just need bigger space. We want to host more people in the house. We need a bigger space. And we went on a journey of putting our house on the market, and then looking for a house, right? A new house. We found a house that we loved in a completely different area, completely different town, and we found it, we loved it, and we prayed and we fasted. We did all the things, we did all the things, okay? We read the scriptures, we looked for signs. We're like, God, show us, send people our way who will affirm, what we believe you have called us to. We believe all of those things. And things were moving. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, nada. Dololo again. The house is not being sold. And we're like, what's going on here, right? I am starting to feel deflated, because this is something that we've wanted for a long time, and now we're finally able to action it. And so we were thinking, okay, this is it. This is what God has called us to. We everything around us, all the people around us, and there were sermons at church that we would tap into, like, okay, that one speaks to us. I remember there was one particular one where our pastor was like, I don't know, I can't remember what he was preaching about, but it was talking about how, there's some people right now who feel called to move and leave, and go and plant somewhere else. And there I was internally like, yes, God, I receive it. Yes, Lord, I receive it. Yes, Lord, I receive it. And yet God, I'm sure God was looking at me like, girl, you ain't going nowhere, okay? Because it's not in my plan. It is in your plan. And, as time went by, I really started feeling deflated. I started feeling like, God, is this actually what you wanted us for us to do? Show us, just show me. And as time went by, months were going on, nothing was happening. We were not getting any offers in the house. Things were just not working out. I then went to God and I said, listen, I'm tired of having to prepare my house for viewing. I'm tired of having to welcome people into my house, into my private space, and yet I get deflated when they don't offer to buy the house. And as I was doing those prayers, the house that we wanted, it was still on the market. And I was praying that it will stay on the market until we're ready. But at some point, I had to let it go. I had to literally pray to God and say, God, I release the house that I thought was meant to be ours. I release it for a family that is meant to move into that house, a family that is meant to find joy and peace in that house, because clearly for us, it is not the house where you desire for us to be at. And saying those prayers gave me an understanding of, this is a prayer that was not going to be answered for me right now, of us finding a new space. That was really sad for me because I really was excited about this place. It was amazing. It was everything. Literally, it was my vision board home. Okay. And it wasn't going to be. It really was not going to be. And I remember going to bed and actually mourning the house and actually crying about it and saying, but God, why? I thought you wanted this to happen for us. And I went back to YouTube, which I love, right? And I listened to a video by my favorite, Mrs. Mpumile Dwaba, and she had a video called Unanswered Prayers. And I listened to it, and she was sharing her story of how God had unanswered a prayer for her, but in hindsight, it turned around for the good. And as I sit here and I record this video, we are in our new home, and it is absolutely amazing, more than I dreamed it would be, more than I dreamed the other one would be. And I feel good. And the way that it happened was just by God. A year later, God just made it happen like that, right? And I want to come here to motivate somebody, to empower someone that sometimes God does not answer your prayers the way that you want them to be answered. Not because he doesn't love you, but because he might be trying to protect you from something that you think is good for you, and yet it would not be good for you. Remember, he knows the plans that he has for you. He knew you from your mother's womb. He knows what your tomorrow is going to be like. And so our own desires for our lives are based on the physical, are based on the day-to-day life, are based on what we see, what we're being influenced by. But God is not influenced by man. God is not influenced by what we see on TV. He is above all, right? He influences himself, and he knows exactly what you need, when you need it, why you need it, how you need it, and what you're going to do with it when you get it, right? And so going through an unanswered prayer may mean that the thing that you most desire right now, you're not going to get it right now. It might not be you're not going to get it forever. It might be not now, dear daughter. I've got something bigger for you. There's a picture that is always going around on the internet, of a little girl, holding a little flower, and God holding a big bouquet of flowers, right? And the little girl saying, but I want this. And God is like, but I got something bigger and better for you. I have something bigger and better for you, but you just got to trust me. You just got to trust me. And that's something that when we deal with unanswered prayers, we struggle with, trusting and having that faith. I know for sure I've had seasons in my life where I've prayed for something and it has not been answered. And I'm like, but God, is this what you prayed? Is this what you gave me? I thought this vision was from you. Did I do something wrong for me not to get it? I start to question my intention of why some things are not happening. But ultimately, we need to understand that God has something bigger and better for us. God knows exactly what we need and why we need it. And sometimes it's not about how much you fasted, how much you prayed. It's about, is it the right thing for you? Is it going to bless you? There are some prayers where you pray for God to bless you. You might be like, God, I want this promotion. God, I want to work this hard. I want to get this job because it will help me get this financial abundance. I want to do this. But God knows, listen, child, when I give you that promotion, you are not going to be kind to people. You are going to change. You are going to shift. And yet that's not his vision for you. That is not his vision for you, right? And so as we come to the end of the year, we're starting to reflect. We're starting to see what the year has been like. I've definitely been looking at my 2024 vision board. I'm looking at it right now as I do this video, and I'm like, okay, this is coming. This is moving to 2025. okay, God, what did I do? What could I not have done? What da 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 da. And we're having a moment of reflection. And there's some things on there that I've had to remove from my vision board because they've been unanswered prayers, number one. Two, something in me has shifted to make me not pray for them because those things don't align with what I desired at that particular time when I created that vision board. And ultimately, you might be thinking, okay, I'm in a season of waiting right now. I am waiting for something that I've been praying for a long time. And oh my God, another year is going by and that thing is not happening. Another year is going by and God is just not answering that prayer. I would love for you to find comfort and peace in knowing that He will answer your prayer at some point when the time is right for you to receive the blessing that is coming with that answered prayer. He will answer it for you. Do not be deflated by the series of numbers of prayers that are not answered right now. Don't be deflated by that. Stand through in the word, stand through in what He says to you, right? He says, I will, if you knock, I will open those doors, right? If you ask and seek, I will give it to you, right? And you know, when we think about, for me right now, the story that comes to me is the story of the Israelites, right? When they were stuck in Egypt, right? When they were in slavery in Egypt, there were so many years that they cried out. So many years that they cried out to God and said, rescue us, rescue us, rescue us. And they went through famine, they went through everything. They became slaves in Egypt and they were crying, God, 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 help us. And I'm pretty sure they were thinking, okay, this is really an unanswered prayer. We're never going anywhere. We're going to die here. And yet God had a bigger and better plan for them. He knew that He was going to send Moses. I was going to send Moses to be a vessel of God's handiwork, to be a vessel of God's power to free the Egyptians. Not just like, let's go, let's run away in the night. No, doing it in a way where He's like, listen, Pharaoh, let me show you who I am. Let me show you what I can do. Let me show you how I show up for my people. And that is something that you need to stand on. You need to stand on that business of faith to say, listen, God, when you are coming to answer my prayers, I know you're not just going to slid through my DMs and slid through just like that, but you're going to come in true fashion. You're going to come and stand in that gap and show off and show forth and show me that, listen, daughter, I have always been in your corner. I might have been quiet, but best believe I have been working hard. I have been working hard to show off for you. And that is the faith that I want you to stand on when you're thinking about your unanswered prayers and looking at your vision board right now. That, listen, this year might not be the year that goal, that vision, that other prayer is answered, but best believe that when the time is right, when God is answering that prayer, He is going to answer it and He is going to show off. You are going to have testimonies when you are talking about that answered prayer. You are going to stand and sing praises and shout out loud and say, God did it. I didn't, but God did it, because that is who you are as a highly favored woman. That is how you navigate through life when we have unanswered prayers. That is how we deal with the situations in our lives when you're like, you know what? This right now is not of me, but I know that the God that I serve, the God that I pray to, definitely has something bigger and better for me, and I am going to tap into that. I am going to hold on to that, and I'm going to live by that power, because I know that there is definitely something more for me that is coming. So as we come to the end of 2024, as we start December, a month of reflection, a month of celebration, a month of family time together, I want you to stand forth, highly favored woman. I want you to stand forth, daughter of God, stand on business in the fact that God will answer your prayer one way or another. He might not answer it the way that you want that prayer answered, but best believe me, He is going to answer it for you, and He will leave you in awe in that answer that He has for you, because He says, ask and I'll give it to you. Seek, He says, seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. If you think of the story of the Israelites and how they labored in Egypt for all those years for them to be free. And even in their freedom, when God answered their prayers, he answered their prayers, but still their hearts were not the right hearts, were not in the right mindset to receive that answered prayer. Those that left Egypt did not enter Egypt. A new generation entered Egypt. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be able to have a good heart when you receive that answered prayer, so that you actually are able to see the fruits of that prayer. You're able to live through the fruit of that prayer. Because what is the point of you praying and standing on faith and business and not enjoying it? Right? That is what I really just want to come and share here with you today on this amazing chitty chat Thursday. I hope it has blessed you. I hope that you are going to find joy again. You're going to find strength in the season of unanswered prayers, if you are going through the season of unanswered prayers in your life, because trust and believe me, there is something bigger and better for you. God is definitely orchestrating amazing things for your life. You just have to stand forth and stand firm in the prayer and faith that he has got your back. That is all I wanted to share with you today, highly favored woman. I am so blessed that you have come through to the end, the whole 20 minutes of this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We are on a road to 100. And if you would love to join the Highly Favored Woman community, just click the link at the bottom of this video and join the community, and you'll be the first to know when we have our in-person events, our virtual events, and just my weekly emails where I share with you some motivation and some tips and tools on how to become the best version of yourself and achieve your vision board goals and elevate your life alongside through the power of faith, vision boards, and strategy as well. Stay blessed, and I will see you next week. Bye.